Hi guys, and welcome back to the Rebel Rehab channel with your host Danny Dong. So thank you very much for tuning in. Today's video is especially made if you're a student or you just graduated or you're thinking about being a physiotherapist later on in life. Whichever it is, I have a list of questions to which I'll answer and I hope it helps you. So number one question is, where can you work as a physiotherapist? Alright, so basically as a physiotherapist, you can work in hospitals, there's clinics, gym, any sort of associations, or even old folks' home. At the end of the day, it really depends on what you want. If you enjoy the hospital setting, and then go apply at the hospital. If not, you can apply for gyms or any clinics out there. Or if you really don't like working for people, you can work for yourself and do house calls. And maybe in the future end up opening your own clinic where if can, please employ me. But really, as a physiotherapist, there's a lot of things you can do. You can work in settings that specializes in neuro, maybe MS, peds, cardiorespiratory, and the list goes on and on. So if you're a student, really take the time to sit down and really plan out what you want to do. If you enjoy MS, you can go for courses on taping, MFR, STM, stretching, strength and condition. At the end of the day, there's a lot of things you can choose from. So the second question is on money. Okay lah, honestly speaking, as a physiotherapist, you won't be making millions. But that's for later lah. Now we'll talk about fresh grad salary. So fresh grad salary ranges from 1,000 ringgit up to 3,000 ringgit. But at the end of the day, it really depends on where you are and where you apply. For example, in Kuching, as a fresh grad, you're getting about 1,200 to 2,000 ringgit. Whereas in Kuala Lumpur, you'll be getting about 1,008 up to 3,000 ringgit. For example, maybe in Kuching, you can live off 1,002, whereas in KL, you probably die with 2,000 ringgit. For example, if you're working in the private sector and you're getting about 2,000 ringgit, minus out your EPF, KWSP, you'll be getting about 1,009, 2,000, and then you'll be taking a large portion out for rent, for food, for transportation, savings, and money to spend. But now MC also Zook closed. Before we go on to the third question, I just want to thank Joe for helping me out. I know you have geriatrics assignment, which is due on Wednesday, and it's Sunday, bro. Which leaves you a lot of time. So the third question, what you study in uni, does it apply out there? Yes and no. It kind of depends on where you're at and who you're working with lah. For example soft tissue manipulation. Back then, we were taught that massage helps to break down adhesion, reduce scarring, blah 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 blah. But if you look up journals these days, this doesn't really do anything. It does help, but there's a lot of better things you can do lah. For example, strengthening, education, awareness, and the list goes on and on and on. And the next question, documentations. Back then, when I was studying, I've seen people who submitted documentations like thick. Like, why are you writing novel, is it? But yeah, proper documentation is important. But I don't think it's necessary to la-di-da for 10 pages lah. Whatever is relevant, put it in. Whatever is not, take it out. And the next question is, if the patient comes in with many problems, how do you charge? That one really depends on where you work lah. Like if you're working in the private sector where they're paying per sessions, then you charge by sessions lor. The only difference is that they're coming a few times or a lot of times. Next question. If your patient don't want to do treatment, massage don't want, electro don't want, exercise don't want, how? Approach them through education and awareness first. Explain to them why you're doing this, why you're doing that. But if in the end they don't want to do anything, there's nothing much you can really do. Alright, final question. Although this one should have been earlier on just now lah. When you started, got probation? Question mark. How's the interview? Question mark. Yes, there is probation. Basically, anywhere you work in the world, there is probation. Basically, during the probation period, they just want to see if you can perform or not lah. If you cannot perform, then they most likely will kick you out lah. How's the interview? Question mark. Interviews kind of depend on the place and the people. First place I went for interview, they put me in an emergency situation. They said like, imagine yourself in this situation, what do you do? It's something like you got two patients at the same time and there's no one else, what do you do? I think my answer was I prioritized the guy with bigger problems. I don't remember already, it's been a while. For my second interview, they asked me to assess and treat their staff. I think the interview went on for almost like 2 hours. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning into my Sunday Sembang series. I hope this video helps y'all. If you got anything, just let me know. If any questions, just ask ahead. But it's getting late, so good night and bye bye. Thanks y'all.